The Russinize Your Day show is brought to you by Lori Tornga, a realtor with Wykert Realtors in West Michigan. It makes sense to use a professional real estate agent because she will work closely with you to find the right home at a price you can afford and help you sell yours for the best price possible. Give her a call, 616-299-9479. Lori Tornga with Wykert Realtors, 616-299-9479. Let her know you heard about her right here on the Russinize Your Day show. And a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Russinize Your Day show, and I'm your host, Russ Van Allen.
And I'm your other host, Brent Huddleston.
And we are delighted to be here with you on Tuesday, January 12th, 2016. Okay. About halfway through the month of January. I think I didn't need you to help me find my word.
You look like you're
You don't do well with pauses, we've come to learn in this show.
I don't like silence. It makes me uncomfortable.
Well, just being in the same room with you gives me that same feeling, so...
Well, I guess we both have something to deal with then.
I'm seeing a shrink about it.
You're welcome.
I don't think I thanked you. If you want to get in touch with us, russinize@gmail.com is the official email. Yesterday... For those of you who are like, I want to email, but I don't know. Yesterday we actually did an episode all based off of the email from one of our listeners. So yes. That could be you. That could be you. This episode could be something you suggested to us. You never know.
Well, you might know if you threw us out an email.
That's the only way you'll know.
Yeah. And we really do appreciate it because, yes, we like to bring you the news that's happening. However, we do want to be involved with the listener.
Mm-hmm. We want this to be an interactive experience, not so creepily as Brent put it, but yeah, we still want you to be involved with us, and let this be an interactive experience. There are other ways to get a hold of us. You can like us on Facebook. You can send us messages via there or comment on stuff we post.
Yep.
Or if you're on Twitter, you can follow us and you can tweet to us on Twitter. At Russinized, RUSSINIZED. And at Russinized. And if Russinize is RUSSINIZE. So
very nice, very nice.
Yeah, well, then you can find the website russinizeyourday.com and stay up to date with everything that's happening. Yesterday we announced that we're not merging. We're going though. We're kind of being absorbed into Whirlwind Media.
Yes, and that's WHRLWIND media.com.
Yeah, there's no I in whirl.
Yes,
there is, but we don't observe it.
We don't observe it. It's part of our religion.
Yeah, we're anti-eyes. So
I don't get why we kept it in wind, but yeah.
It's all do you get into the technicalities of it, and it's like it's like the I before E except after C. Here it's eyes in wind, but not in whirl.
That's weird. How the rule goes?
Yeah,
I've been spelling incorrectly for my entire life.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the rules that we've put up there. That's just
meanie. Just because I don't learn goodly.
And if you're a Google Plus user, you can find us on Google Plus. Just search for Russinize Your Day.
There you go.
And
there's many ways to get a hold of us.
There's plenty. Again, email's generally the easiest, but tweeting at us, that does work.
Yes, it does.
Facebook messages. I'm not on Facebook much, so that really boils down to Brent's field of play there, and good luck.
I will not drop the ball. Oh, I almost dropped something. I will not drop the ball.
This is why we can't have nice things. He drops them all the time.
Maybe we do have some comments on Facebook, and I just haven't seen them.
If you haven't, I definitely haven't, because I have not been on in a little bit. But I'm active on Twitter, so if you want to,
you're a big
tweet at me. You can.
You're a big twit.
He clearly knows nothing about Twitter, as he's showing. So, But what you were going to...
I'm not very good with Twitter. I'll admit it.
Yeah,
I don't know when to hashtag and when to put at.
You're actually very good on Facebook, though.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the ironic part.
Yeah. It's because I don't have to hashtag and at people. I'm just like, hey, check this out.
Hashtag and at people.
That's right. That's right. I said it.
You're so good on your lingo.
I am. I'm hip. I'm very hip.
On today's episode of the Russinized Your Day Show, we're going to be talking about Germany.
Oh,
Germany has accepted a mass amount of refugees.
Yes.
What were the... Didn't we just have the number up here?
Yeah, I think it's 1.1 million.
That's a lot. A lot of refugees.
That's a... In some cases, that could be an entire country.
Here it was. Germany, which took in 1.1 million migrants and refugees in 2015, and that we're pairing that with another story we have here. That one's from Yahoo over on Breitbart. We have that they've only reached 10% of migrant influx.
Wow.
A German minister said this.
So they're expecting what, 1 million? 100 million?
But that's absurd.
That's a country.
They're going to need to go and conquer all those other countries around them just to fit all the refugees into Germany.
Oh my goodness, that's insane.
Gerd Mueller said only 10% of Syrian and Iraqi migrants have reached Europe so far, and 8 to 10 million are still on the way. So it is, I don't know if necessarily referring to just Germany, but Europe alone has only reached 10% of their migrant influx. But this is according to Breitbart News. The biggest movements are ahead. Africa's population will double in the coming decades.
Wow.
He told a newspaper I can't pronounce the name of, adding, in the Sahara, up to 1 million people have died trying to escape. The European Commission, he added, has lost a significant amount of authority thanks to the crisis. Which that doesn't... Who cares?
Wow.
He also called for a 10 billion euro Marshall Plan, with European states paying to rebuild war-torn countries. So that's great. If you're in Europe, hey, that's great. 10 billion euro Marshall Plan, that will you'll rebuild war-torn countries like Iraq, Syria, and Libya.
There you go.
So that's a good. That's good.
I wonder if they have East Germany built back up.
This is what he said, though. Listen to this.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I was just reading ahead, though. Listen to this. All states must pay, especially those that receive no refugees. So you have to pay.
Especially if you don't receive the refugees.
Yeah, so if you're one of those countries that's like, look, we want to protect our citizens, we're not going to take any refugees. And you might say, hey, that's racist, that's Islamophobic. Let's take a look at something here a second.
Hold on. That's
like
like paying for ice cream that you're not going to get.
Except that ice cream is basically a cone of razor blades in terms of the refugees.
I'm just saying that's unfair. If I'm paying for something, I'm getting something.
But Europe adopts the more socialist outlook of things. So you have to pay for these war-torn countries.
Right.
And if you didn't accept any refugees, you're going to have to definitely pay even more.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, because why not?
When asked about calls from Bavarian regional president Horst Seehofer to put a cap on the number of migrants admitted to Germany, Mr. Mueller responded, "We need a reduction. If we have 1 million again like last year, we cannot successfully integrate them at the same time." So this is the thing. This is in line with our 1.1 million from 2015. So they've accepted 1.1 million.
Right.
Germany has. So this is referring to Germany from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But this German minister is saying all the states must pay for this.
Right. That is absolutely absurd.
Well, yeah, so this is 10% of that 1.1 million is 10% of the overall amount they're looking to bring in. And Bavarian regional president Horst Seehofer, I don't know how Germany is divided up. How they're.
It's been a while since I visited there.
Have you actually been?
No.
Okay. So it's been never that you.
Some of my ancestors were almost there. Actually, a couple of them fled from there.
Huh.
Yeah.
See, they were German?
Jews.
Huh.
Jews.
So they were fleeing from
Yes.
Germany. That would.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's been a while since we were like, yeah, let's go back.
Not a huge fan of just running back there.
No,
back
thank you.
Mr. Mueller's comments echo those of Heinz Buschkowski
Also the founder of Heinz Ketchup.
and Busch Beer.
Wow. Man's an entrepreneur.
An MP from the Social Democratic Party who predicted the total number of migrants reaching Germany by 2020 would be between 5 and 10 million.
I think my 1% was off. I think 1% or 10% would be 10 million. So, not 100 million.
Yeah, you're right. No, yes, you were, 10 million.
Wrong.
That would be the total. So that was in line with
Yeah, that is, by 2020, 5 to 10 million new refugees. I don't understand how they're going to assimilate them all to the German culture. Or to the European culture.
Especially with an influx so quickly. 1.1 million in 2015 is a big number. But it doesn't matter because they're not going to assimilate them.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
Which is kind of sad because Germany, I know, is not. I don't want to say it's a dying country, but the child births aren't up. So the people that are getting older outweigh the younger people. There's a greater population of the older people. So while you're bringing in these new refugees to your, quote, dying country, you're not assimilating them to your culture, which means the German culture could be potentially snuffed out.
Yeah,
potentially. I'm not saying that it's going to be, and I'm not saying that.
But let's take a look at this because the German population, according to 2011.
Okay.
I'm just reading something here just to make sure there's no.
Gotcha.
80 million.
80 million.
80 million. So they're going to bring in 1/8 of their population in new refugees.
Wow.
By 2020. That's what they're set to do. You're talking about the eradication of the German culture. Yeah, see you later. I mean, we're already seeing that in areas like France and even areas in the UK and I believe even places like Sweden.
Yeah.
In places like France and Sweden, there's areas that if you're a woman, you can't walk down.
Right.
Because you will be sexually assaulted, you will be beaten, robbed, whatever. Anything could happen to you down that street because it's been taken over, and this is going to be non-PC, but it's been moved into by predominantly Muslim. It's become Muslim refugees. It's become a Muslim neighborhood,
right? And that's you just said it's going to be PC, but that's honestly that's terrifying. What? To have your country taken over by another people that you don't know their culture. You might not accept their culture. You might not like their culture. However, you're taking them in as refugees because you're trying to help them, and they're going to come in and completely change your culture.
And vice versa. They're not interested in your culture at all.
Right. And it's like, why accept these people? And I'm not saying, okay, I'm not saying be heartless. What I'm saying is if people cannot conform, or not necessarily conform, but if they cannot accept your culture.
What I have to say, it's sad that you have to add that addendum on.
Right. I don't want to.
Because look, and this goes to, in the U.S., our refugee crisis.
Right.
Okay. There's nobody that I know of that's calling for a permanent end to Muslim refugees.
Yeah, same here.
They're calling for a temporary hold so that we can find ways to assess them, because right now, in this terrorist threat we face,
right,
it is because of radical Islam.
Right.
It is because of a radicalized sect of Muslims.
Yeah, and any person that sits there and goes, well, blah, 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 and tries to throw out excuses, well, stop throwing out excuses for other religions. We are dealing with something right now.
Yeah.
And it's radical Islam. And they've come out, whether it's ISIS, Al-Qaeda, any other terrorist group, they have actually come out and on video, on social media, and said, hey, yeah, we're going to be sneaking in with the refugees. I'm sorry, but if any leader wants to protect their citizens, yeah, there we go, their citizens, they're going to take that threat to heart. If you want to protect your country, guess what? You're going to have to take that as a real concern.
Yeah. While you were talking, I was doing some quick research here, because we had talked about how Germany is divided up. Germany is divided up into states.
Okay.
So what this guy's talking about is, in fact, this is all, because I had said maybe this is about Europe. This is about Germany, the states of Germany. When he says all states must pay, Germany is going to start paying to rebuild these war-torn countries, apparently, and forcing all the states to pay, especially those that don't accept refugees. This is a big problem.
It's a big is huge would be more
for the German people. Where are the German people? Like, are they cool with all of this? Because what's happening right now in Germany, and let's go into the. You might be saying, "Oh, you guys are just anti-refugee."
No.
Let's in Cologne, Germany.
Cologne. I love the smell.
And other German cities on New Year's Eve, more than 600 criminal complaints were filed with police, and these complaints were against asylum seekers, the refugees coming in. The attacks mostly targeted women and ranged from theft to sexual molestation. This is from Yahoo News.
Well, I mean, who doesn't like a little theft and sexual molestation in their country? I mean, come on.
Right, that's what we all pine for, right?
Yeah,
you take these surveys and you're like, yeah, I wish we had a little bit more of that in our country.
It spices things up a little bit.
But don't worry. We're accepting refugees, too. We'll have that in plenty of time.
Oh, no.
Just in Philadelphia, there was a police officer that was shot by a man who claimed in the name of Allah.
But, we got to be nice. We have to figure out why these people are doing this. We have to figure out why they hate us.
Global warming.
Oh,
that's why. Bernie Sanders solved it already.
I knew it. Oh, yeah. A
little late to the party. We have talked about that before.
Yeah. I just forgot.
Problem solved.
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, they're coming to our. We are accepting refugees.
And in other countries. There it is. In countries like Finland and Sweden that have a higher level of asylum seekers as well, and who have a larger Muslim population,
right.
They are experiencing the same things. Again, it's not. There's certain streets that it's not safe for women to walk down.
See, that's sad. When you try to open up your country to help asylum seekers get away from war. And pretty much murder. When you open up your country and they come in and they thank you by molesting and committing crimes.
Yeah, that's a
great. Hey, thank you.
But it's their culture. It's their culture.
Whoa, you're saying that Muslim culture is rape and?
Well, no, it's not. That's not what they call. It's their culture, though. They're allowed to do that.
Oh, they're allowed to do that.
Whereas, like, a woman needs at least 2 male witnesses to prove that she's been raped. 3 male witnesses. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. 3 male witnesses to prove that. I think you're actually right.
Okay.
It's either 2 or 3. So between the both of us, we're right.
All right.
But it doesn't matter the number.
Right.
A woman needs male witnesses to actually have somebody listen to her that she was raped.
Right, and that number one, that's sad.
And then on the other hand, you've got here in the United States, you've got the feminists going out there and regretting a decision they made one night, and then coming out and saying that it was rape, making these false claims of rape all over the place.
Right. When ladies in other countries are,
they don't have the they don't have the luxury of coming out and saying I was raped.
Yeah. And it's very sad to hear these stories because I believe our government is pushing for a huge refugee push, and it's very sad to hear these stories because it's like, you know what, we do want to help them. However, we don't want to help them bring them into our country and have this start happening to our citizens.
And when you look at what our government's doing, they're not accepting Christian refugees.
Well, no,
country, they're being killed too. Christians are being murdered regularly.
Yep.
Just because they're Christians.
And also Muslims that do not conform to ISIS or any other terrorist belief. But yeah.
But our country isn't accepting Christian refugees. You have to go elsewhere for it. We mentioned before Glenn Beck has funded and researched and gotten, I think 500 Christians, he just got to another country because the U.S. wouldn't accept them. He had to go somewhere else because the United States wouldn't take them.
Wow,
and they were vetted, too. They weren't just some random... Glenn's company, he put in the money, and they vetted these refugees, and they weeded out terrorists from within the ranks. They did it well enough that they weeded out people.
So, wait, hold on. You're telling me that Glenn Beck,
raving, homophobic, Islamophobic, conservative, of course.
A radio talking head.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck.
Yeah.
Somehow got enough money together to vet people and weed out terrorists with however much money he raised, which I believe was
12 million. Yeah.
But the United States government, let me say that one more time. The United States government, who brings in a couple $1 trillion, can't have a program or can't update their program of vetting refugees to weed out the terrorists, but this one guy that has a talk show on a radio station can.
Well, but Brent, look, okay.
Oh, I'm about to be schooled.
You are. Okay, we just, we'd love to say, but we just made out a check for $500 million for more mental health, projects,
right,
to help mental health people.
And we also are updating the system for background checks.
Yeah, we just hired 400 more federal workers.
Okay.
We can't,
but
don't
not
have it
for
in
refugees.
No, this is for those. Oh no, this is for worse.
Oh,
gun owners.
Worse. Gun owners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because a lot of gun owners go out, rape, and commit crimes
every day.
Every day. If you see somebody with an NRA sticker on their car or whatever,
naturally a rapist.
Yeah. You got to watch out for those sneaky guys.
Got to watch out for them.
Yeah, they say that they stick up for the Second Amendment right, but nope.
That's not what they're after.
No.
Nope.
But these refugees that come into other countries, I mean, they're so grateful. They'll repopulate your country with their own.
Yeah, well, and that is sometimes through force. But
seems like all the time through force right now.
But that is actually, you do bring up an interesting segue here.
Oh. That's French for
segue.
Okay.
That birth rates in the Muslim communities in these countries are exceeding that of the actual, like let's say Germany, the actual German people. You're seeing this in the UK. You're seeing this in France. The birth rates. So you accept all these refugees. And sure, okay, 10 million by 2020. It's an eighth of the German population.
Right.
Okay. Meh. That doesn't bother you? Okay. But while your birth rate's coming down, their birth rate's going up. Very soon, there's not going to be a German people.
No. It will be, the Middle East will go into Germany, so that will be like the Middle West.
The German culture is just going to be attritioned out of existence.
Yeah, that's and like I said,
in its own country,
and that's very sad. to have happen to any country.
Yeah.
When you are trying to help people out, and they come in and then push you out.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem with, anybody who comes to America should assimilate into the American culture.
Right.
Which there is. There's an American culture. It's a mix, absolutely. Yeah. But there is an American culture.
Yeah.
There is a German culture. There is an English culture.
Exactly.
There's a French culture.
There's also a Muslim culture.
There is, because the Middle Eastern countries are predominantly Muslim.
Right. And I just want to ask you a quick question. If you were to go over to the Middle East,
yeah,
and you wanted to reside there, do you think that they would allow you to bring your American culture with you?
No, they actually loathe the American culture. They loathe everything about Western civilization.
Okay. Okay, so if you're a Russian or maybe a Chinese Asian person, and you were to go to the Middle East, could you bring your culture with you?
No, probably not.
See, the thing is we the Western civilization opens up the doors because we feel that we need to help these people out. Because, yes, what is happening in their countries is terrible. However, when we open up the doors for these refugees and they come in, they thank the countries by committing crimes, heinous crimes.
Yeah. And they thank the country by shunning the culture that welcomed them. And look, if there's people from other countries and they want to stay in their culture, in their country, we should be working within those cultures and countries to house them and provide them safety and refuge.
Right.
Instead of necessarily bringing them here, most of them probably want to stay home anyways.
Or at least as close to home as they possibly can.
Right, they are refugees. They are being forced out by something, so it's not to be lost on that.
Right.
But the best thing we can do for them is help them at their home.
Right. And I think a lot of that has to do with intelligence and great leadership. Which
something we don't have a lot of at the moment.
Right. And
unless you're listening to this show. Then there's plenty of it across the board.
Exactly. It's very sad. I mean, you're absolutely right. We need to help them out in their home country. We need to make sure that they have a safe place to go. We need to make sure that these people are being taken care of and that we do everything that we possibly can to help keep their homes a safe place.
Right, and any that we bring to our country, we vet them, and we assimilate them. I'm sorry, we bring them into our culture, and if we're bringing them into our home, guests in your home respect your rules of your house.
Exactly.
That's what we have in America. Bringing people here, they need to respect us, respect our culture, and respect our rules.
Right. And there's no two ways about it.
But it's tough to get somebody else to respect your rules when you don't even respect your rules. So there's a lot on us.
Yeah.
But nobody that I know of is talking about banning refugees. We bring in refugees. We always have. We will continue to do so, and we should. We help people. That's what America does. Right. America has been the greatest help.
Exactly.
To so many countries through so much of history.
Yes, but that's been, and like you said, I think we've forgotten. We throw away our own rules or our own.
Yeah, we do. The Constitution. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just work around it. Congress, 3 branches of government. Whatever.
Yeah, and by doing that, we we do hurt ourselves as a nation, because without this nation being strong, how are we going to be able to help and lend a hand to others in need?
Yeah, exactly. And the greatest thing we can do to stand up to the radical Islam is to respect our own culture of freedom and individual liberty.
Yeah, respect goes a long way.
It does. Folks, we're at the end of the episode for today. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Russinize Your Day Show. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Russinized, and send us your emails, russinized@gmail.com. We will respond to them, and if it's a good topic, we'll talk about it on the show here. We do our research.
Yes. And if it's a bad topic, we probably will still talk about it.
Naturally. We don't really do our research. But listen to the show. Subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, and coming soon, Google Play Music. Share it with your friends. Rate and review us on iTunes, please. Have a great rest of the week. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Russ Van Allen.
And I'm Brent Huddleston.